So that's how we got started. And we were at that location for 2 years. I was just back there the other day. So small. So small. But we managed to operate out of there for 2 years. Welcome to the Ultimate Deck Shop version 1. So we first opened here 4 years ago, and this was our first location. So at the time we were looking for something that was a little bit smaller and more manageable, just something that we could learn to grow in and kind of get started and make sure this whole concept of a deck store was even going to work. And so we found this great little location because it had a small little yard attached to it with the compound, fenced compound, which we needed. And this tiny little space here, which coming back into this space now after 4 years, I'm shocked. I'm shocked like how we operate out of this little tiny space. So when we moved out, it was great because we knew somebody who actually needed a space just like this. And so Fat Plant Farm now is operating out of this space, and they've done some crazy cool stuff in here. This looks 10 times better than it ever did when we were in here. But you can kind of see behind that green wall, there's a wall there. That's the back of that was the back of our space. So this little tiny 30 by 30 room is where we operated for the first 2 years of our business. Now we needed a little bit more space than what this main floor could offer, so we actually had the upstairs built as well, and we'll go up there and I'll show you some of the complexities with that. So if you can imagine, all of our inventory stayed upstairs because we had no room for it down here, so all of our railing displays and our fasteners and everything were upstairs. And so product would come in, we would take it off the truck, carry it upstairs with manpower, and then when it's sold, you'd have to carry it back down the stairway. And these are 11-foot ceilings, so this was not a short trek to get stuff in and out of here, but we'll go take a look. This space up top now is actually being leased by a company called Balloon Bar in Regina as well. So 2 cool local places that are doing quite well for themselves. So it's pretty awesome. But through this door, and she doesn't even know we're in her space right now, so this will be a surprise for her, and hopefully she's okay with the fact that we just kind of wandered in. But this was our upstairs, and again, you can see the wall. It's not a very big room. I'm still surprised that we operated out of this for 2 years. But yeah, we had some railing displays up here and a little bit of racks, and this is kind of where you came up to grab any inventory that you needed to sell. It was always hot as hell in here. There was not good ventilation up here. In the middle of summer, it would be like 40 degrees Celsius up here, like 110 up here, and it would just be sweating away. But you'd come up here, you'd grab your railing packages, pieces at a time, back down that huge flight of stairs, put it in a customer's truck, and we did that over and over and over again for 2 years. So this was home to start. Welcome to what was the first yard. So at the same building on McCarra Street, this was the yard component. This is why we chose this building, is because it had a compound. It was very hard to find a compound with a building, and so it wasn't very big, but it had to work for a while. And so it's only about 3,000 square feet, maybe a little bit more than that. Like, this yard is smaller than people's houses. So this is what we kept our material in for what we did stock at the first anyway. So trailers into the yard. We had nowhere for a semi to actually pull up on them. So we actually would shut down the street. The semis would pull up and stop in the middle of the street. We'd stand out there with our hands up, and we would bring the forklift out of this little gravel gate here and unload and haul it in, and unload and haul it in. And like, it was pretty sketchy. It wasn't good for anybody, but that's what we had to work with at this first location. So thankfully we then found another place and moved out here that worked a little bit better for a little bit longer, and we'll go check that out too. We moved to the new location that we're currently at. I quit building. That was always the plan. At some point I would quit building when the store could sustain and needed both of us there. Yep. We've operated at Dewdney for 2 years now.
So we picked Dewdney Avenue over McCarra because it was a little bit bigger showroom and warehouse. We also liked that the yard was a little bit bigger, and we were on Dewdney Avenue, so Dewdney has a higher traffic count, so a little more visible in the community was pretty important to us. When we first took possession of this building, you can see on the floor where the carpet tile is. So basically there used to be a wall that divided this space off. This used to be warehouse, and this was the showroom part of it. So we knocked that wall out and then built our bigger displays. In this location, we were actually able to do some sort of life-size displays so that people could get a feel for the area, touch and feel the products, and that was really important to us. So as you can see, the showroom was good and has served us well. And then we'll go through the back here into the warehouse and we'll see how much bigger that was. So in the warehouse, this was what we used to have upstairs in the McCara address. It became a lot easier. It's a lot more roomy. We did build a little bit of extra storage up top so the guys could still walk up and down the stairs if they had missed that part. So adding this extra storage along the side allowed us to, really increase our inventory counts and stuff. This warehouse is approximately 2,000 square feet, so it's as big as what our whole McCara address was. We liked that it had an overhead door so the material could be brought right in and set down. We could also keep our forklift and our truck in here if it was too cold or needed some repairs. And then out into the back, this is the yard. And so this yard is 5 times the size of the McCara location, which was pretty appealing when we got here, but took us about 2 years. We filled it right up. It's a bit of a mess right now because we're trying to move it all over to 4th, but there it is.
Welcome, 4th Avenue, new location of the Ultimate Deck Shop. Pretty early in the stages, but so forgive the mess and the incompleteness, but we'll show you a little bit of a tour. So that door we just came through is a employee access only to the upstairs where all the magic happens. I don't know what magic that is per se, but we'll give it a tour. This is basically the office space, this place. This building is about 5,000 square feet, about 1,800 square feet upstairs, and that's where all the offices are. So we're keeping retail and warehouse downstairs, offices upstairs. So when we come upstairs, we have Wade's office. This fine young gentleman right here is going to be quarantined in this corner. Bad wording. And we've got a couple of washrooms on the side here, some closets and storage for our employees. So this is a nice little kind of nook when you come in here. And then we get into the main upstairs area. And this is going to be, we're still learning what this space can be for us. It's quite a large space, but we're for sure going to have your lunchroom and kitchenette area up here for the employees to get a bit of a time away and have their lunch and breaks and whatever. And then we're going to kind of leave this as a bit of an open office space here as well. So in the corner, that's where our new estimator and project manager is going to work out once we get her set up. And then we've got some kind of free open desks here for people like our content guy or our bookkeeper who aren't here all the time, but they come and go, they can kind of use these desks in the corner. Or if somebody's on their break or what have you. As we move over towards the back half of this building, we've got our general manager's office is going to be here. As you can see, everything's just getting moved in and dirty and whatnot, but nobody's actually started working out here other than myself. And I am shoved back in this dark corner.
We'll get lights in
And so there is a mess in here full of stuff because I have been working out of here for a little bit. So my office will be in the corner here. We have a bit of a boardroom area here that we do our kind of weekly meetings out of. If there's vendors in town, we can kind of congregate here. And then the back half of this room, because it's a very large office, we're flipping this and turning this into our, I'm just going to call it our studio. We'll be shooting our podcast out of here once we get set up. We'll be shooting some YouTube content out of here, all sorts of Facebook stuff. Basically anything that's content related that can be shot in studio will be done here. We'll get that green screen in the back going and get this set up a little bit better with some good lighting and whatnot. And then
lighting. Just
that's
lighting.
going to be fun.
We don't
yeah,
have
lighting and a ceiling in here
no
is the
lighting
next
right
step for here. So that's the upstairs. A lot of stuff that you guys are going to watch us and listen to us from is going to be produced right in this little zone there. This is great because it can be our little perch from above, seeing what all the guys are doing down here and making sure everything's kind of rocking and rolling. But this is the warehouse. We've got a lot of racking set up for all of our products, a lot of our railing racking, and we have the drive-through yard on the other side. So people will be able to pull their trucks and trailers right in, get them loaded up, and they can continue on their way. So So as you come through, we have access to our retail showroom up front here, but like I said, the rest of this is just racking, storage, inventory, etc. Our drive-through yard at the back, we have a few overhead doors here. So our overhead door here will be kind of our shipping and receiving door. So if UPS shows up or the glass orders show up, you want them coming through this door. Keep the other half clear for people to drive through. So that would be great. Shipping and receiving desk over here. And then there's 2 door accesses to get to the front, which is where the actual real magic happens. Like I talked about magic upstairs. Not much magic happening upstairs.
Stuff up there, yeah.
But this is what people are going to see when they come shop in our store. Well, not this. But this is the room where it's all going to happen. And so the way this is kind of laid out, we'll have our sales desk right where we came through that door. They're kind of getting built as we speak. This back half is going to be primarily showroom. So we're going to build up some displays here, show all of our decking products on the walls, our railing products on the walls, some Toyo grids and pergola stuff. Everything we have to show will be mostly on that half of the room. And we've got a front door here that people will come through, and then on this back half, we've got a side entrance we kind of treat as a bit of a contractor entrance. Anybody can come through it, but contractors with trucks and trailers will pull into the yard there. And this is where we're going to keep our inventory, fasteners, shims, consumable, quick hitter type stuff. So if somebody needs to run and grab a box of screws, they don't need to go through the whole showroom. They can come to that side door, grab it, pay here, be gone. So we'll see how it goes. This is going to be an exciting year for us. This is a lot of things at play. Opening a second store is probably more learning happening now than the first 4 years combined. But I don't know, we're excited.
It's a little bit scary for sure, right? Because so now there's a lot more people involved. We have managers and they have families, and so like now we're kind of on the hook for 20 or 30 people and feeding them, right? And so that's a little bit scary, but at the same time, it's super exciting. Like, we have a second location, we have a bigger store, like it's starting to look a lot more like Lumberyard now.
But what's the point of this whole thing? Well, we just want to like open up our personalities and kind of inside the business a little bit more. We've got a pretty good following that we've developed through our podcast or social posting, through being at events. And so we've got a bit of a following that may be interested in seeing a little bit more about how things are run. We get these questions a lot, like how we made the leap from being contractors to doing the retail side, or how we're running a business, or we've actually become, for whatever reason, a sounding board for a lot of guys when they've got issues that come up.
Yes.
On Instagram, they kind of send us a message, like, how do I deal with this? And it's like, we're not experts, but we're figuring it out with you, and we're more than willing to have the conversation with you.
I was like, well, we're opinionated, so
yeah,
we'll share that.
And so I think this just allows another kind of like open window into our operation, and I think we have a lot going on this year, so I thought that could be of interest to people. And I'll be honest, I've watched a lot of reality shows my wife watches, and they're dumb. And so I thought, we don't need to...
I'm dumb, so I can do a show too.
I was like, we can do this, there's some interest there. So it's experimental. Like, nobody else in the industry is doing this, and so we're going for a land grab here, trying to get some attention.